Requires compatible unlocked device and new line of service. Bonus device credit requires 12 months of active service. Offer ends if eligibility requirements are no longer met. Taxes and fees apply. For network management practices, see Straight Talk's terms and conditions.
97.3 ESPN has teamed up with Seize the Deal for incredible weekly offers from some fantastic local restaurants. Here's this week's big deal.
Get a $50 gift card, good for use, at Bruno's Italian Market in Ventnor City for just $25.
Get this great deal starting Friday at 9 a.m. at seizethedeal.com. Hurry, chances are this deal will sell quickly. For more info on this great deal, go to seizethedeal.com.
Seizethedeal.com.
Home of the Philadelphia Eagles.
They got him again!
Sixers.
Bang! It's good! Ball game!
And Flyers.
Just in front of the net!
97.3 ESPN. WENJ. WENJ HD. Millville, Atlantic City. A Town Square media station serving all of South Jersey. This is Game Night with Josh Hennig.
It's good!
On 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app.
And he scored!
Now live from inside the Ocean Casino Resort studio. Here's Josh Hennig.
Josh Hennig here on 97.3 ESPN FM, the 97.3 ESPN mobile app powered by First Bank of Sea Isle City. Man, Eagles, Falcons tonight. It is game day. We will get you all the key matchups in the game tonight. All that and more coming up. Andy McNamara will join me in less than 20 minutes from now. As always, I want to hear from you guys out there. For those of you who are not tailgating, it feels like half of the Philly fandom has been tailgating all day for this game. But for those of you listening on 97.3 ESPN, thank you for tuning in. Of course, Merrill Reese, Mike Quick calling all the action. Kickoff around 8 p.m. here in your home for Eagles football in South Jersey, 97.3 ESPN. I will have my keys to the game throughout the hour, and you guys can join the conversation as well. Who do you think is going to win and why? 609-403-0973. And your DMs into the 97.3 ESPN mobile app powered by First Bank of Sea Isle. There's so much to get into for this game, and obviously it starts with one man specifically. It starts with the news that we heard over the weekend. A.J. Brown, unavailable for this game tonight. And I am glad the Eagles have taken this approach with A.J. Brown, because A.J. Brown is a guy who you need him long-term, not short-term, long-term. So if you're Philadelphia, you got to make sure that this guy is on the field for you every single down that he is healthy. If he is not healthy, then you know what? Don't let him on the field. It's better to be careful than risk anything. You saw in the Giants game yesterday. The Giants game is an example of when someone mismanages an injury situation. The Giants knew on Saturday that Graham Gano was not 100%. They didn't call up their kicker. They let him go on the field anyway. He ran down the field. He injured the hamstring on the same leg. He had a groin issue. And they had no kicker. And instead of calling up a kicker, instead of at least asking the punter to go out there, Brian Daboll looks back at his punter. His punter shakes his head. I don't got it, bro. And Brian Daboll looks like the biggest buffoon in football. So the Eagles are not that team. The Eagles are a team that's going to come out here and they are going to say, AJ, we know you're not 100%. It's better not to risk it. So what does that mean for this game today? I thought Jalen Hurts did something very interesting when he was speaking to Jason Kelce. Jason Kelce just had the most ridiculous walk up to the stage for a Monday Night Countdown. I mean, he just did, an MC, and then they followed him with a camera all the way to the stage. This is pure theater on television. You can't even get the earpiece in his ear properly. This is an absolute disaster. Anyway, but I thought when Jason Kelce spoke to Jalen Hurts in their one-on-one interview, Jalen Hurts made a very interesting point about what is his job as the Eagles quarterback. This is a fascinating answer he gave, and it may give us some insight into the game tonight.
My job is to play. I'm playing point guard out there.
Yeah.
I want times, where I'm dishing it out to this guy, then that guy, then that guy, and then maybe a time where I ISO it up and, I take him to the basket,
So Jalen Hurts views himself as a point guard. Then tonight's game may not be what you think it is. Tonight's game with no A.J. Brown may not mean more Saquon. Because guess what? You got a head coach who's a former defensive coordinator. You have a defensive coordinator who used to be a head coach in college, Jimmy Lake. Raheem Morris, head coach of the Falcons. Jimmy Lake is defensive coordinator. These men have an idea of what they're up against. You don't think they're going to try to stop Saquon Barkley tonight? You don't think that they're going to try to press the issue tonight when it comes to we don't want to let Saquon beat us? The Falcons ruled out their best run defensive linebacker in Nate Landman before the game. This is a guy in Landman who was basically the reason why the Steelers had trouble consistently running the ball in week 1. So without him, that Philadelphia is going into this game with Saquon Barkley. And if you're the Falcons, you know it, they know it. So what is the smartest strategy? Is it to say, we're going to run Barkley and we dare you to stop us? Or is the answer saying, we're going to fake it to Barkley and go somewhere else? What if Philly goes into this game and pulls a Kellen Moore from about 4 or 5 years ago, where Kellen Moore used to run that 12 personnel with Dallas? He used to have Zeke in the backfield, right? Ezekiel Elliott, when he's in his prime, not like he is now. Ezekiel Elliott in his prime. He'd have 2 tight ends out there. And what would they do? They'd run play action or they would run RPO. So is this a scenario where Kellen Moore says, I know you're expecting me to go with Barkley. I know you're expecting us to run the ball, but now we're going to go play action. Now we're going to run pass option. Now we're going to manipulate your defense, you defensive geniuses over there, you Super Bowl champion Raheem Morris. Kellen Moore's like, it's my turn. Is this a Kellen Moore game tonight? It very well be. If the Eagles win this game tonight, it will be in part because of Kellen Moore and what he does with no A.J. Brown. And if the Falcons are focusing on Barkley, is this a game where we see Dallas Goedert come into his own, have a big game? Is this the game where Dallas Goedert gets up there and balls out? We know that Kellen Moore likes to get the ball to the tight end, but we also know that last week, both of Jalen Hurts' interceptions came to the middle of the field, in between the hash marks. So what is going to be it? Is Jalen Hurts going to be the point guard that he says he is? Or are the Eagles going to go with something that they works? You guys tell me what your keys to the game are at 609-403-0973. Josh Hennig hanging out with you on a Monday night, leading you up to the Eagles pregame show at Eagles versus Falcons tonight. Merrill Reese, Mike Quick calling all the action. Starting at 8 p.m. tonight on 97.3 ESPN FM. The other question I have going into this game, I looked this up. So according to NFL Advanced Statistics, the Atlanta Falcons only got pressure on the quarterback last week, 13.8% of the time. That means that less than 20%, less than 15% of the times that Justin Fields dropped back to pass, the Falcons got pressure on the quarterback. That's a really low number. Okay? That is an incredibly low number. And so I started wondering, are we talking about a Falcons defense that needs time to get to the quarterback? Are we talking about a Falcons defense that needs time to get pressure? And if they are a team that does need time to get pressure, How is that going to impact this game? Again, I'm not even talking about sacks. I'm talking about just getting pressure on the quarterback. 13.8% of the time, it's not a big number. For comparison, the team that gets the highest pressure rate in the NFL on the quarterback is the Dallas Cowboys, and they're 1-1. All right. The Philadelphia Eagles, in their first game of the year, they got pressure on Jordan Love 21.6% of the time. So even the Eagles on that sloppy field that we saw down in Brazil got pressure more often than the Falcons did. And I think we all can agree that Jalen Hurts is a better quarterback than Justin Fields. So is this a game where the Eagles want to pick up the pace, want to force them into making decisions they want to do? Bill Belichick was on the Pat McAfee show earlier today and said this about the Falcons defense.
Falcons, they're not a big turnover team on defense, so it would surprise me to see them turn the ball over much because it really hasn't been their history, or they don't have the playmakers to do that consistently. But they're going to need to do a good job against the receivers, and even with Brown out, still got to deal with Smith, Goddard, Barkley out of the backfield, and so I think it'll be a good test for the Atlanta defense.
And when he said that, it made me think of what Kellen Moore said to the media earlier this week. Kellen Moore pretty much told the media, look, I'm not worried about Jalen Hurts the interceptions. Think about that. Here's Kellen Moore, the Eagles offensive coordinator. Now, you heard Belichick, future Hall of Famer, one of the greatest football minds of all time. He's like, yeah, I don't see the Falcons as a team that can get a lot of turnovers. I don't see them being able to handle what the Eagles have coming at them. Is that maybe why Kellen Moore said this a few days ago to the media?
The first game, and we had two third and extra long opportunities where, you practice some of those during training camp. And I think, we got a little aggressive, myself play calling also, ultimately, just throw, but not overly concerned. To me, they're outliers in many cases. I think as we all have seen Jalen in those circumstances. So we feel optimistic we'll be just fine moving forward, and we'll be able to adjust.
He feels optimistic moving forward. A very interesting comment from Kellen Moore. So you heard Belichick say, I don't see them getting a lot of turnovers. I see them having some problem with the Eagles offense. You heard Kellen Moore saying, I'm not too concerned about the interceptions with Jalen Hurts. Some of that was play calling on my part. What do you guys think about tonight's game? We'll get into it coming up next. More the NFL weekend review and Eagles Falcons tonight preview. Andy McNamara joins me next on 97.3 ESPN FM and a 97.3 ESPN mobile app. It's powered by First Bank of Seattle City.
Wake up weekday mornings from 6 to 10 a.m. with Unsportsmanlike on 97.3 ESPN with Evan Cohen, Super Bowl champion Chris Canty, and Michelle Small.
Can't wake up without it.
Brought to you by the Gallery Bar Book and Games at Ocean Casino Resort in Atlantic City.
Got a leaky pipe? At Ace Hardware Home Services, they're around the block with everything you need to fix it, including the person to do the fixing. Got an air conditioning issue? They've got a person for that. Because now they're not just the helpful hardware folks, they're also the helpful home services and repair folks. From plumbing to heating and cooling, they've got the trusted pros to keep your home humming all year long. Ace Hardware Home Services, now in South Jersey. They're bringing helpful home. The helpful you love from the store now to your front door. Visit acehardwarehomeservices.com to book your next appointment today.
I got my together. I got my together.
I got my together.
Just say it. You can get your shots together too. Your COVID-19 shot and your flu shot at the same visit as recommended by the CDC. I got my shots together. Ask your healthcare provider about getting this season's COVID-19 shot when getting your flu shot if you're due for both.
Are you getting your together?
Sponsored by Pfizer.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Diego.
Hi, Diego. It's Jennifer Coolidge. I just want to say your cashback match makes me feel so special. It really inspired me.
That's great. Doubling the cashback you've earned at the end of your first year is what we do.
Well, I'm doubling everything now. Double dating, double dipping, double feature, double header, double whammy. Basically double or nothing.
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/credit card.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like, to check that your seats aren't in the visitor section first, before buying tickets.
I'm so excited for this game. I can't believe you got us tickets.
Me too. Wait, are we on the wrong side?
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds.
This is going to be a long game.
You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
When it comes to wings in the Delaware Valley, nobody beats the Piccalilli Inn. Whether it's South Jersey's best wings, tails, or ears, let them know you're sauce champion. All 10 delectable flavors are going head-to-head to battle for number one. When it's game day, you just gotta head to the Pick. Visit them on Facebook or at piccalilli.com for their Pick game specials. And be sure to pre-order to guarantee your spot in Sunday's lineup. Nobody beats the Piccalilli Inn. Visit the one, the only, the original Piccalilli Inn, Route 206 in Chemong.
Madam Giselle senses something in your future.
Is my boyfriend going to propose?
It's a big storm.
Wait, we're going to get in a fight?
No, a literal storm. Wind, heavy wind. I see a tree falling on your RV.
Oh, that's fine. I'm covered by Progressive. So, is my boyfriend there? Maybe on one knee?
The entire roof is crushed.
So, no ring.
Be prepared for the unexpected with Progressive, a leader in RV insurance. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Product features subject to policy terms and may not be available in all states or for all vehicles and covered selections.
My friends swim no matter the season, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can sometimes take me out of the moment. Now, thanks to Skyrizi and Clear Skin, count me in. With Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. 3 out of 4 people achieve 90% clear skin at 4 months.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Right now at Wendy's, you can get a small Frosty for $1, and literally everyone is going. The car behind you, going to get a $1 Frosty. The car ahead of you, already had one, going for a second. The person who cut you off earlier, you guessed it, $1 Frosty. Maybe it's all a sign for you to go get one. Just don't cut anyone off. No one likes that person. The iconic Frosty for $1, gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's. Not valid in a combo. Prices may be higher in Alaska, Hawaii, California, and via third-party delivery.
Powered by the all-new BetParks New Jersey Casino and Sportsbook app. BetParks.com. This is the Town Square, New Jersey Info and Weather Network.
The Birds are without one of their stars. I'm Nick Earnshaw with your South Jersey Sports Center and with your 97.3 ESPN Question of the Day. With A.J. Brown out tonight, who steps up and has a big game for the Eagles? Let us know by texting 609-403-0973 or use the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app. I think it's got to be Saquon, right? He had a big game in the first game of the season. Now he's at home in front of the home fans for the first time against Atlanta. I expect him to have a big game and score a couple of rushing touchdowns. I would assume that they lean on him heavily. Once again, let us know by texting 609-403-0973 or use the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app. Your forecast is next.
Mom, meet Sarah.
From first-time Nana moments.
Yeah, welcome to Flight 101.
To annual girls trip moments. Your can't-miss moments are worth protecting against RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV. And there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com.
So where should we go next?
Sponsored by Pfizer.
From the Town Square, New Jersey Info and Weather Network, I'm Chief Meteorologist Dan Zarrow. Rain chances ramp up tomorrow with occasional pockets of rain through Wednesday and Thursday. Tapping into tropical moisture, heavier downpours are possible. A blanket of clouds tonight and patchy fog, humidity on the rise, low 65. Mostly cloudy tomorrow, chance of a shower early and late, but a mainly dry day, high again 75. Periods of rain likely Wednesday, could be heavy at times. Get weather 24/7 wherever you are. Download our free mobile app today.
Cooper's our new neighbor down the shore.
Introducing Cooper University Hospital, Cape Regional.
Healthcare is going to improve in Cape May County.
We're excited to bring our award-winning care to our new neighbors in Cape May and Atlantic counties. You'll have greater access to top specialists, advanced technology, innovative treatments, and outstanding cancer care at MD Anderson Cancer Center at Cooper. Cooper University Healthcare.
Extraordinary happens here.
This is Game Night with Josh Hennig on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app.
We'll check in the text board coming up in just a bit at 609-403-0973 and your DMs into the 97.3 ESPN mobile app powered by First Bank. Seattle right now. Joining me as promised, Andy McNamara is back for a recap of the NFL Week 2 and Monday Night Football tonight. Andy, my friend, how you doing today?
I'm doing good, Josh. Doing good, man. Another very weird week after a also weird week 1 to start the year.
Yeah, I mean, let's get into that really quick because, you know, I was listening to Mike Gill as I was his producer earlier on the Sports Bash show on 97.3, and he talked about how everything is upside down right now. Mm-hmm. You know, the Saints crushed the Cowboys. No one saw that coming, right?
No,
the Vikings outplayed the 49ers. Nobody saw that coming, right? You know, I think maybe some people could have rationalized the Bucs going to Detroit and beating them. I think that was not the craziest idea in the world. But I mean, the Patriots almost became 2-0 this weekend. I mean, that's insane. And let's be realistic. Did anybody think the Cardinals, listen, the over hit in the game as I predicted, but not for the reason I thought it was going to hit the over. You know, not because I thought Kyler Murray and Marvin Harrison Jr. were just going to tell the world to go bleep off. I mean, it was absolutely nutty weekend. So for you, is there a game or a player or a situation that you walk away from yesterday's wildness and you're just like, Josh, let me tell you something. What is the Andy McNamara like dude moment or situation?
I think my 1B to my true moment was the Marvin Harrison Kyler Murray, because it was such an extreme from week 1 where it's like, uh-oh, and then it's like, oh, and then the Rams, I know Cooper Kupp went down, but man, like nobody saw that one coming. The Raiders as well over the Ravens, right? Like, I think the biggest surprise to me, it was tough between the Saints and the Cowboys, but I just think because of what we think the 49ers are, we all anticipate the Cowboys getting into the playoffs in some capacity and fizzling out as they always do. But the 49ers losing to Sam Darnold and the Vikings. Josh, you could have given me $1,000 and said, I'm not taking it. I'm not taking that bet. No, it seemed impossible, improbable with no like wild injuries. Jordan Mason still got his, right? Like, it was so weird of a week. And I think that's got to be the what the bleep moment to me, the 49ers losing to the Vikings.
You know, I was saying this before, Andy. I will get your thought on this. I don't think we realize how good of a coach Brian Flores is, because he literally said, hey, Trent Williams is your left tackle. I don't care. I'm going to the right side. I'm going to bring the pressure in Purdy's face. He can see it coming. It's on you to blink. And Kyle Shanahan never adjusted. I mean, Kyle Shanahan, the great Kyle Shanahan, right?
Yeah.
He never adjusted. Now, listen, if those teams play 10 times, the Vikings losing probably 8 of them, right?
Sure.
But it's like, it's an amazing moment to show you that the NFL, it's such a precarious thing where it's like 1 week, things don't go your way, and you're the Rams.
Yeah. Yeah. And by the way, Cooper Kupp looks like he might be headed to IR.
He is,
fantasy death. Puka and Cooper, go get yourself some DeMarcus Robinson, like I told you guys last week. I was on it before it was cool. You better get yourself DeMarcus Robinson real quick. I'll tell you that. Holy cow. They're in trouble. Rams are in trouble now.
Really quick, even if you get Robinson, is he going to get the ball? I mean,
he has to now.
The Rams lost some of their offensive line.
Look, and Stafford isn't the most mobile, as we know, right? No. Maybe a little Tutu Atwell. Let's not forget about old Tutu. Remember, we had Puka and Tutu last year. Tutu lit it up for like a month. Why not? But no, you're right. Like, Matthew Stafford could get clocked, and he's not He's older. He's not that mobile. You're losing the offensive line. That got weird, again, to use that word, real quick for the Rams, right? So now we look all across the board. It's like, okay, well, like you said, the Patriots are better than we thought. You still lost. And, the one constant is that the Panthers absolutely suck. And at least that brings us back to that we're in reality. We're not in the, what was the DiCaprio movie where they spun the thing? Deception? Yeah. We're not dream within a dream here. The Panthers are still bad, so we know we're in reality.
I texted you this earlier. I don't know whether to laugh or feel bad for Bryce Young because
both.
The young man was drafted with the first overall pick.
Mistake.
He should have never been the first overall pick.
No.
The Panthers were so desperate to fix it. And this is the problem in football, Andy. I was having a conversation. I was over at Dole's Poorhouse in Tuckerton. I'm going to have my Eagles watch party there this Sunday with 97.3 ESPN. And I was talking to a Dolphins fan up there, and he told me, he's like, I always thought we were going to win a championship with Dan Marino. He's like, but we never did. And it's an amazing sign that sometimes you got to stop trying to get the quarterback and you just got to build a team. And I think Bryce Young is the embodiment of a team that was so desperate to get a quarterback. And you know this, you're a Browns fan. You know, you've lived it multiple times, right? But it's
right now.
Right, we'll get there. Don't worry. We'll get there. But it's like the Panthers, they are literally benching the first overall pick 24 hours after the head coach said, Bryce Young is my starting quarterback. And his answer was basically, we got to do what's best for the team. No. What you're saying is, I've seen enough. If we're going to salvage this season, we are going to go with Andy Dalton. To which all I say is, did you watch 2020 Cowboys? Did you see what happened when Dak went down? You can salvage all you want, but it doesn't matter.
No, and you know what? This reeks again of the owner of Tepper getting his sticky fingers involved, which is why Bryce Young was drafted in the first place. Right. It is noted, and it's by no mistake that Frank Wright and the quarterback coach, the old quarterback, Josh
McCown.
McCown, yeah. It got leaked out. It's like, no. We wanted CJ Stroud because that's the type of quarterback that those guys like. The owner was like, I like college football, and Bryce Young threw the ball a lot. That was fun. Okay, pal. Well, now you got him. And guess what? Now he's benched with the owner signing off because now he's panicking. But let's not give the Texans too much credit here, because I heard this weekend that the Texans were fully planning on drafting Bryce Young if they took CJ Stroud, if the Panthers took CJ Stroud.
It's true.
And Texans were like, okay, guess we'll take CJ Stroud. Well, that worked out. Sometimes you just fall ass backwards into good luck. And the Panthers just dug themselves a hole. That team is terrible. They'll be drafting at the top again. And you said it. Look, as a Browns fan, I've gone through quarterback hell, kids. Nobody knows it better than me. The only thing you do is you just keep trying. And you hope you get lucky, maybe like the Texans or something. That's it. Because it ain't Bryce Young, poor guy. Seems like a nice kid, too. The guy's 5'5", Josh. Come on. The guy shouldn't have been a first two-round
pick.
He
looks like a freshman in high school.
The pick the first day at camp walked in, he looked like he was sixth grade.
I know.
Legit. My daughter's in grade 8 and she looked bigger than him. It's terrible. It's ridiculous. He's not a franchise quarterback. He should never, a great college quarterback, but we see those every year. And now he's benched and Andy Dalton won't be good and he'll be back in at some point. And it's just a mess and you're done. So it's a bust. There you go.
Andy McNamara joining us here on 97.3 ESPN. Before we get to the Eagles and Falcons, so you did mention the Browns.
Mm-hmm.
You and I had talked before that game about how we're going to learn a lot about both those teams.
Yeah.
We learned, well, at least I learned two things from the game, and you tell me how you feel because you are the host of the Sick Podcast.
Yes, sir.
One, I think the Browns have way more guts than anybody realizes. I think that team is a team with resilience. And I think Stefanski and Jim Schwartz basically told the guys, hey, if you guys are serious, we're going to go out and win this game, even if it's ugly.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing I learned is the Jags are a bad football team. And I don't know how they rationalized building that team the way they did, but Trevor Lawrence literally almost won the game on a Hail Mary off his back foot. And it was just such a moment where I kind of just sat back and I said, my gosh, that man is amazingly talented. And almost every team in the NFL would give up like everything for that guy. But that guy is on the Jags.
Yeah. And look, as well, you don't take a sack. Trevor Lawrence got sacked late in the game at a shotgun. Now, not his play call, but you got to get rid of that ball. So for how talented he was, I saw so many perplexing things. I'm like, man, is he just broken mentally from the poor coaching or different coaching? Perhaps.
Maybe.
You're right. The talent's there, but he made some bad decisions. I'm like, man,
talent's definitely there.
It's like, you can't take a sack there. But you're right. It looked like the game was in the bag. And then the Browns just get tons of penalties, shot themselves in the foot over and over and over again. And it was a ground and pound, ugly game, wet, rainy, humid. And I'll say this, Kevin Stefanski is now 22-9 after the Browns lose. So that's his record. He went back to his old offense, which leads me to believe, with the offense, by the way, where he is two-time coach of the year, which leads me to believe, why the bleep did you go get Ken Dorsey? I had this offense.
I asked you this question months ago, didn't I?
You did, but the expectation was that we were going to see a Cam Newton, Josh Allen, 4-5 wide, razzle dazzle. But no, Stefanski was, and to your point, the resilience is like, you know what? Nuts to this. We're going to go jumbo set. We're going to run and we're going to win ugly. And they did, which is fine by me. But again, you could have kept Alex Van Pelt. I don't know what the heck Ken Dorsey's doing here. It's like the old Office Space. What is it that you do here? Like, I don't know. We'll see this week, I guess.
I guess we will. I think that this is a situation in Cleveland where I texted you this. I'm going to pull out the curtain for the audience.
Yeah.
What did I message you? I said, as a Browns fan, you look around and you see the Ravens are 0-2, the Bengals are 0-2, but the Steelers are 2-0. If you're the Browns, you're just like, we just got to start playing better football and we can win this division. Like, because
yes,
the Ravens lost the game they should have won, right? Mm-hmm. And then the Bengals lost 2 games they should have won. You're telling, by the way, really quick, I said this weekend. I'll say it to you as well. Here on 97.3 ESPN for the whole world listening to me on the radio and you across on the virtual screen from me, Andy McNamara. I think there's trouble in Bengal land.
I do too.
You see the way Chase and Burrow are reacting in some of these clutch, tense moments. Those are not the actions of men who are under, who are cool under pressure. They are the reactions of men who realize that the Titanic has water filling up the boat and they don't know what to do because they're doing everything that they can. And between Burrow slamming his helmet on the sideline after that 1 3rd down, right? Yeah. And then later when he thought they had the interception and it was the pass interference, which was obviously a pass interference. I mean, the guy mugged him before the ball even got there. Yeah. And Burrow thought it was done. He puts his hands on his head. He looks like he's going to cry. There is trouble in Bengal land, my friend.
I blame the blonde hair for Joe Burrow. That's what you get. Yeah, cocky SOB. That's what you get. No, look, and let's not forget Joe Burrow with his wrist. That's not healthy. He's not 100%. Jamar Chase is distracted. There's distractions. T. Higgins, he's not on the field, but he wanted out. Jamar Chase wants a new contract, or he wants out. There's the defender, I think Hendrickson. He wanted out before. You're right. What is the turmoil? And it comes down to big picture. The Bengals are one of the cheapest teams going because they're one of the few teams left with Mike Brown, son of Paul Brown, who founded the Browns and the Bengals, whose only business is the NFL team. And he's wealthy, don't get me wrong, but we're not talking about an oil tycoon or a truck stop guru or something that has extra money. He is notoriously cheap, and he doesn't blink. And so it looks like there's a lot of distraction. And you're right. That look, the Steelers are the softest 2-0, but they won. They got it done. Credit to them. But they face a half-decent team. They're toast. That offense stinks. So you're correct. The Browns have a real shot here. If you can keep progressing. Stinker week 1. You found a way week 2. Well, now you're playing the Giants, who are terrible. Let's take another step forward with that offense. And if they can, the division is in play for this team.
By the way, Deebo Samuel has just been ruled out for a couple of weeks with a calf strain.
Oh, good Lord. Really?
I mean, this is okay.
Wow.
Fantasy. Let me take off the football hat, put the fantasy football hat on Eddie McNamara. So now, okay, we got no Cooper Kupp, no Puka Nacua, no Deebo Samuel, a day-to-day Justin Jefferson, right? Travis Kelce playing like trash. Hollywood Brown out for the year. A.J. Brown missing at least this week, maybe 2 weeks, because we know hamstrings, those are a little sketchy, right?
Yeah, they can linger.
I mean, who's left?
Boy, man. You know, Quentin Johnston is going to be one of the hottest pickups. I'm not biting. I'd still rather Ladd McConkey. We're talking Chargers, and Justin Herbert's banged up.
They're running the ball.
Of course. J.K. Dobbins, good for J.K. Dobbins. Like, I still don't trust that he's going to stay healthy, but good
he's
on
no
him.
longer just kidding Dobbins. He literally is J.K. Dobbins.
That's right. Like, here are the options on your fantasy waiver wire, Josh. Let me know if these names excite you, okay, going in. Quentin Johnston, no. Jalen Naylor of Minnesota, no. Josh Reynolds of Denver. Bo Nix, hails no. Jawan Jennings, maybe. How often have we talked about why did they give this guy money?
He's been a vulture.
He's been a vulture. Maybe now he gets an opportunity to elevate a little bit. That might be one of the better pickups. And here's the thing. We're not saying, when I say better pickups, I'm not saying these guys are going to be stars because they're not. You're hoping with these type of pickups to hit double-digit fantasy numbers. And by double digits, I mean like 10 or 11.
10.
Right? That's it.
10.1.
That's it. And I'll tell you, Jerry Jeudy of the Brett. Amari Cooper is not right. I am trying to get as many Jerry Jeudy shares as I can. He is rostered currently in about 41% of ESPN leagues. Like, Jerry Jeudy has been the go-to. 8 and 6 targets the last 2 weeks. Forget what you thought about him with Denver. Amari Cooper's he's not mentally right because it's his last year. He's playing for a contract. Jerry Jeudy could be a real smart pickup if he's available. I would put him above any of those other names we just talked about.
All right, and let's get to the game tonight. Eagles, Falcons. You know, no A.J. Brown. It doesn't mean the Eagles can't win, but it means that this is a game where Kellen Moore earns his paycheck, right? This is the kind of game where this is why you hired Kellen Moore. Because what did he do in Dallas? He got creative. What did he do last year with the Chargers? With a third-string quarterback, he had to get creative. He was running out of choices, right? And remember, the Chargers almost won a couple of those games down the stretch last year with the interim head coach, you know? Some ugly, ugly games. So what is your take on the Eagles-Falcons game tonight with no A.J. Brown in the game?
I'd say in a lot of situations, I might be concerned. Did y'all see Kirk Cousins play last week? That guy's foot ain't right. He had no play action. What's Kirk Cousins make his living off of? Play action. Roll, bootleg, roll out. Well, that Achilles still isn't right. It didn't look right.
Nope.
So he's not doing that. He threw 2 interceptions. I think it'll be on the Eagles defense to amp it up, force this to become a game where the Eagles can get up maybe 10-0, get up 10-0, and then just let loose. And this is a game I feel I got a little same game parlay for you if you'll indulge me here for the Eagles that I really like. Because no A.J. Brown, how about over 2.5 receptions for Saquon Barkley with Eagles alternate spread 7 points. $20 gets you 73-20. Let's go. I think that's very reasonable with how bad the Falcons were.
It's weird because I think the Falcons actually have a good defense, like personnel-wise.
Yeah. They're better than
A.J. Terrell, Matthew Judon, Grady Jarrett. But here's the stat for you. Falcons got pressure on the quarterback only on 13.8% of pressures. Justin Fields was the quarterback last week.
Right.
Do you know the 5 teams that have worse quarterback pressure rates in the NFL, Andy McNamara?
Got to be the Carolina Panthers is one of them.
They're the worst at 6.3%.
Of course they're the worst. Denver? Maybe Denver?
No, Denver's better. They actually get pressure on the quarterback.
Carol, oh my gosh. Jeez. Who else? Titans, maybe? Titans?
No, Titans are better too. So here they are. So the Panthers are the worst.
Okay.
Patriots are second worst. Bucks are third worst, which surprised me.
Interesting.
Jags are fourth worst. Raiders are fifth.
Okay.
Remember, Rams, no Aaron Donald, they're 6. Then the Falcons. So what you're telling me is if you had trouble getting pressure on Justin Fields, are we talking about a defense that needs time to get to the quarterback? Or are we talking about like a slow developing pass rush?
Which is, and maybe that's also a comment on the secondary, right? If the secondary, we know you can have the coverage sacks, right? Is the secondary covering well enough? And we know, like with Jalen Hurts, you give that guy some time. He's much better than Justin Fields, obviously. And he can still distribute that ball, and he can run it himself. I think this is going to be a game where we're just going to see a nice spread. I would wager, 5 to 7 catches for Devonta Smith, maybe 4, 5, 6 Dallas Goedert, Saquon Barkley. Like we said, this is a distribution, and this is a case again where even if the Falcons defense is okay, like you can have a good day and still give up 21 points. That doesn't mean it's a bad day for the defense. But if the Falcons can't score because Kirk Cousins is still not right, then it doesn't matter, right? Then you're still fine. So I think, again, I feel the Eagles win this one by a touchdown. I'm pretty confident tonight with Philly, even without A.J. Brown. I think they got enough weapons to spread it out and get it done.
Before I let you go, quick question for you, because I know in Canada the viewership information is a little different than it is here in America. Right. This Jason Kelce takeover of Philadelphia leading up to Monday Night Countdown ESPN has been some of the most ridiculous shenanigans. I mean, I'm almost impressed they're let him do it all. I mean,
what's he doing? Like, is it funny or is it cringe?
Well, I mean, first of all, he goes to the tailgate before he goes on the set. He's playing cornhole and chucking garage beers to the fans. He gets up on and MCs like the whole crowd. And then they follow him with the camera walking to the Monday Night Football set. Can't even get the earpiece in his ear. He's not even wearing a suit. He's wearing like a green Italian jumpsuit, like he's part of the mob or something. It's just like it's absolute chicanery, and it's like I don't even know how to handle it, because like in Philly, like us in this area, we're all about it. Like everybody loves Jason Kelce,
sure, of course.
But like outside of this area, like how does a non-Eagles person look at all this?
Oh, I'm sure everyone will be not professional. And you know what, man? It's in 2024. You're looking for some razzle dazzle. You're looking for some impact, and having another generic guy in a suit, and especially some of those big offensive linemen play in a suit, doesn't look quite right. Who cares? Go have fun with it.
By the way, it's also their Nick Foles is retiring an Eagle at halftime.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That's cool. Okay, that's a nice little motivator.
This is an all-out thing. I mean, they got ESPN at Xfinity Live across the street and in the parking lot outside.
I've done shows from there. I love it at Xfinity Live, man. I've done National Lacrosse League draft shows from there a few years ago. I loved it. I did two from there. I loved the spot. It was in when the heck was it? I don't remember. It was warm. It was in the summer or something, but it was a great spot. I was very impressed. I think it was like a June or something, but I loved it in there. I've been to Philly twice, and both times we didn't get to do much else, but that Xfinity Live, I love it.
Yeah.
I'm putting it over.
They had NFL Live do all 2 hours of their show from Xfinity Live.
Nice.
And then Monday Night Football is literally in the parking lot outside the stadium. Apparently,
it's entertainment. Have fun. Okay. People will complain. Not on this show, I'm sure, but others will complain. We'll see that. But okay, you got that, or you got Taylor Swift in the press box 10 times. What do you want? I'd rather Jason Kelce chucking beers to people and struggling to get his earpiece in. That's more entertaining to me than see Tay hugging it out and cheering, and Kelce looking with that weird bucket hat. Good Lord, it was awful.
I mean, the funny part is that Van Pelt was saying that he was just hoping no one chucked any beers at him. Because Kelce's chucking the beers. In Philadelphia, people will drink with Kelce. He'll go out and drink with people. He don't care. He's the man of the people.
He'll do it, and they're having fun. This is the podcast, and look, the way Travis Kelce's numbers, fantasy wise, anyway, have been playing, kind of feels a little bit like he's got one foot out the door, right? Like he's got that huge podcast contract. His brother's having fun. Kelsey's already going to the Hall of Travis is already going to the Hall of Fame. He's got that superstar girlfriend. I don't know what else you're really playing for at much
Although
longer.
I will say he started out slow last year.
He absolutely he did.
And the first 5-6 weeks he played like trash. We were all, and then what was it, week like 7 to 14? He had like 6 catches in like every single game.
He popped.
I should know he was on my fantasy team last year.
Yeah, he popped. But that offense again, like look at the adjustment the Chiefs were able to make. Yeah, you got some help from the refs. That happens. You know, you get hosed and you don't. Whatever. And so the Bengals lost that. The Chiefs are looking like the Chiefs and they're adaptable and they just keep winning. I think for the Eagles tonight, you win this game, and especially with the 49ers situation, you make a statement to the NFC tonight. Like, really, let's look at the rest of the NFC. If the 49ers are struggling, and it seems inevitable at some point, they always go through huge injuries. If the Eagle, who do you like better than the Eagles in the NFC if the 49ers are injured?
Good question.
Right?
At AndyMC81 on the Twitter X platform. Andy, tell the folks about the Sick Podcast.
We got show Tuesdays and Sundays, live Sundays, 10 a.m. Eastern. Fantasy football starts. That's all over the place. And on Tuesday, we got our fantasy football waiver wire. We went through a couple there. We're going to do a deep dive because there's some panic mode with all these injuries, what we're going to do. So make sure you subscribe, free to subscribe, notifications on. The Sick Podcast with Andy McNamara on YouTube and on X at SickPodBrowns, at AndyMC81, and Instagram at AndyMCSports. Get you set there.
Andy, enjoy consuming the Jason Kelsey random content before the game tonight.
I will. Let's see how the Eagles do. See you, buddy.
Take care, my friend. Andy McNamara joining us here on 97.3 ESPN. I'll give you my picks for the game, and we'll wrap up the show coming up next. The Power Hour, known as Game Night on 97.3 ESPN.
This is South Jersey's official home for Philadelphia Eagles football. The Eagles host the Atlanta Falcons in Week 2 of the 2024 season on Monday Night Football.
They cannot stop Saquon Barkley. How fun is that?
Listen to all the action with Merrill Reese and Mike Quick with pregame coverage starting at 7 p.m. and kickoff at 8:15. This is the play-by-play home of the Philadelphia Eagles. 97.3 ESPN, South Jersey's Eagles station.
Hey, it's Mike Gill. I want to tell you about some unbeatable lease offers from my friend Rocco at Key Acura of Atlantic City. Now through September 30th, you can drive home the 2025 Integra for just $399 a month with $29.95 down. Need a little more room? The 2024 RDX all-wheel drive is yours for just $393 a month with $49.95 down. Visit Key Acura of Atlantic City on Chilton Road in Egg Harbor Township, the small but friendly dealer. See dealer for details.
Sweet chocolate reward. Sweet chocolate reward.
This is not just the sound of someone picking up a sweet treat at Walgreens. This is the sound of someone picking up a sweet treat right after receiving all their vaccines in one trip. This is the sound of treating yourself because you protected yourself.
Stop by or schedule both your flu and COVID-19 vaccines today and grab yourself a sweet treat while you're at it. Vaccine subject to availability. State, age, and health-related restrictions may apply.
Here in New Jersey, it's one wow after another, after another, after another. I'm Chief Meteorologist Dan Zarrow. There is only one fourth-generation family-owned winery in New Jersey, bottling for over 90 years. It's Tomasello Winery. Their vineyard in Hamilton offers tastings, plus events and festivals, and they have 7 other tasting rooms around the Garden State to sample and purchase their wines, ciders, and incredible creams, wine cocktails. Cheers! Find your wow at visitnj.org. New Jersey, little state, lot of wow.
Wake up. Breakfast. And Nature Made vitamins. Whatever your morning sounds like, Nature Made fits right in. Whether you're looking for vitamin C or a multivitamin to get key nutrients, we've got you covered. Now that's a good morning. We take care of you so you can take on your day. Start your day with Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist recommended vitamin and supplement brand. Based on a survey of pharmacists who recommend branded vitamins and supplements.
97.3 ESPN has teamed up with Seize the Deal for incredible weekly offers from some fantastic local restaurants. Here's this week's big deal.
Get a $50 gift card, good for use, at Bruno's Italian Market in Ventnor City for just $25.
Get this great deal starting Friday at 9 a.m. at seizethedeal.com. Hurry, chances are this deal will sell quickly. For more info on this great deal, go to seizethedeal.com.
Seize the deal
Lowe's knows to start fall projects, you need reliable outdoor power equipment from Ego. Right now, get your choice of a select 56-volt blower or chainsaw for $249. The 56-volt technology powers over 80 tools, so you can switch from blowing leaves to cutting trees with ease. Save time and money with Ego, the #1 rated brand in cordless outdoor power. Valid through 10/2. While supplies last. Selection varies by location. Item number 5207558 and item number 4354078.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper, and you can get it online? Go to hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, and the process is 100% online. To start your free online visit, go to hims.com/joy. That's HIMS.com/JOY.
Breaking news, and this one is almost unbelievable.
Yeah, it's all about new customers at Bet365 because they get $200 in bonus bets when they bet $5. And even better, bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, and player props.
There you have it. Bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bet. And see why. It's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in New Jersey. Terms and conditions apply.
Point.
Hey, you okay? You don't normally miss those shots.
Oh, I just haven't been as regular lately, and it's making me feel sluggish.
You should try Metamucil. It's been a game changer for me. Metamucil's plant-based psyllium fiber helps trap and remove the waste that weighs you down.
Ace.
You're moving better than you were last week.
Definitely.
Metamucil keeps you moving. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Learn more at metamucil.com.
Progressive knows finding your new home was a dream come true. You wanted it close to town, with a picture window overlooking a yard. And you found it. Now, when you sit down to dinner, you've got front row seats too. Your neighbor's daily pickleball game. Progressive can't save you from your noisy neighbors, but we can save you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Diego.
Hi, Diego. It's Jennifer Coolidge. You know, I just want to say your cashback match makes me feel so special. It really inspired me.
That's great. Doubling the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year is what we do.
Well, I'm doubling everything now. Double dating, double dipping, double feature, double header, double whammy. You know, basically double or nothing.
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
Step into the heart of Tuckerton at Doyle's Poorhouse, where great food meets a family-friendly atmosphere. Craving a hearty meal or a place to unwind with friends? Doyle's Poorhouse of Tuckerton has it all. Mouth-watering dishes crafted with care and the best events in town. Live music nights and community gatherings. There's always something happening at Doyle's Poorhouse of Tuckerton. Visit them today and experience the warmth of their hospitality. Doyle's Poorhouse of Tuckerton, where every visit feels like coming home. Visit Doyle's Poorhouse of Tuckerton, your new favorite spot for food, fun, and family.
Now, more Game Night with Josh Hennig on 97.3 ESPN and on the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app, powered by First Bank of Sea Isle City.
Yes, Doyle's Poorhouse in Tuckerton is where I will be at this Sunday, September 22nd, for our Eagles watch party, where you have a chance to win an A.J. Brown jersey. Watch the game with me and other great prizes. You must be present to win. I'll be telling you more about that in the week coming up. All right, here's my picks for tonight. I think the under 45.5. I think the over 31 yards for Jahan Dotson. And I like the under 20.5 for the Falcons scoring. I think the Eagles defense is going to turn it up tonight. I think they know no A.J. Brown means they got to turn it up. And I think the Eagles defense is going to have a game tonight. I agree with Andy McNamara. I think there's something wrong with Kirk Cousins. He's not 100%, and I think they're going to take advantage of it. And I think that the Falcons' offensive line is just not as good as people think it is. Thanks to Andy McNamara for joining us. Coming up next, Eagles pregame show here on 97.3 ESPN.
Oh, yeah, it's on at Matt Blatt Nissan.
If you're currently stuck in a loan or lease, AJ the Trade Man can get you released. Matt Blatt Nissan.